Speed has always been a question of balance. How much power can you put down before physics pushes back? Every era of automotive engineering tries to answer that question differently. Some chase raw horsepower, others chase weight, aerodynamics, or technology that lets humans feel superhuman. But at the edge of all that performance lies something rarer. A machine that exists not to break records but to redefine what control feels like. It is the difference between a fast car and a focused one, between spectacle and symphony. When engineering ambition meets artistic restraint, the result is more than transportation. It is motion sculpted into intention. Today, we are looking at one of those rare creations. A machine that costs as much as a private jet yet demands precision over indulgence. If that contrast intrigues you, stay tuned. Because this story dives into the kind of automotive creation that makes even the fastest car seem ordinary. Like, subscribe, and comment on what high-performance legend you want to see next. The Bugatti Divo 2021 begins with a contradiction. It takes the most excessive road car on Earth, the Chiron, and asks what happens when you deliberately make it less comfortable, less fast in a straight line, and yet infinitely sharper through a corner. Bugatti named the Divo after French racing driver Albert Divo, a man whose victories in the late 1920s came from endurance, precision, and nerve rather than brute speed. The 2021 Divo channels that spirit. It is not about top speed runs or drag strip times, it is about surgical control. The philosophy behind its creation starts with Bugatti's awareness that after the Chiron and Veyron, there was nowhere left to go in the speed wars. No public road or legal track could host another 300-mile-per-hour demonstration. Instead, the brand shifted its focus inward, exploring how to translate its immense engineering resources into a purer form of driver engagement. To do that, Bugatti took the Chiron's 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine, still producing 1,479 horsepower, and reimagined the car around it rather than for it. The Divo's bodywork became a case study in airflow management. The designers sculpted deep channels and aerodynamic blades across every surface. Each crease and contour carried purpose. The widened front splitter increased downforce. The roof-mounted Naka duct fed air to the engine without creating drag, and the enormous fixed rear wing delivered stability through aggressive cornering. The result was a machine that could generate almost 200 pounds more downforce than its sibling, while weighing 77 pounds less. In the world of hypercars, those numbers translate into a new dimension of response. Engineers lowered the top speed limiter from 261 miles per hour to 236. On paper, a compromise, but in reality, an invitation to explore what the Chiron could never fully express. Every element of the Bugatti Divo 2021 exists to keep the driver connected to the surface beneath the tires. The suspension tuning is firmer, the steering is quicker, and the traction management system calibrates its grip almost telepathically. Even the tires were developed specifically for this model to handle lateral loads few drivers will ever experience. Yet, this is still a Bugatti. Luxury was not abandoned but reinterpreted. Inside, the cabin feels closer to a race car than a grand tourer. Asymmetric design cues orient the driver's side toward focus, with Alcantara replacing heavier materials and muted tones keeping reflections low. The passenger side, by contrast, retains subtle elegance, reminding occupants that this machine was crafted, not stripped. The manufacturing process itself was an event. Only 40 units of the Bugatti Divo 2021 were built, each requiring months of design consultation. Customers had access to Bugatti's Sur-Mesure program, allowing for bespoke color combinations and detailing that could never be duplicated. Many owners spent more time in design meetings than they ever will behind the wheel. A reality that highlights both the exclusivity and irony of such a purpose-built track machine. In financial terms, each Divo carried a base price of $5.8 million before customization. That figure represented more than twice the cost of a Chiron. Yet every example sold before the public debut. The buyers understood that the value was not in outright speed or comfort. It was in owning a statement of intent. Bugatti's leadership described the Divo as a driver's Bugatti. But the truth is that it was an engineer's challenge. It tested how far precision could go before excess became irrelevant. From a performance standpoint, the Divo could outlap the Chiron on Bugatti's own handling course by 8 full seconds. A monumental difference when the same engine powers both cars. It achieved this through aerodynamic pressure rather than software trickery, a testament to the brand's commitment to physical engineering over digital intervention. From an aesthetic perspective, The Bugatti Divo 2021 stands apart even when parked beside its legendary relatives. The elongated rear light array, composed of 44 fin-like elements, creates a three-dimensional texture that glows like molten metal when illuminated. The front end carries a more aggressive stance. The headlights sit within vertical slots that double as air passages. Every visual cue serves aerodynamic intent, a philosophy more akin to aircraft design than automotive styling. Yet despite its technical achievements, the Divo's true narrative lies in its philosophy. It represents Bugatti's refusal to be trapped by its own reputation for linear speed. By building a car optimized for corners, the brand publicly declared that artistry and control mattered as much as brute power. This shift in perspective rippled through the hypercar community, inspiring other manufacturers to reconsider their approach to performance. For the owners, driving the Bugatti Divo 2021 is less about showing off and more about discovering the edge between confidence and fear. Few will ever test its full capability. Fewer still will risk its multimillion-dollar bodywork near that limit. But that restraint, that understanding of potential rather than demonstration, is what gives the Divo its aura. It is a paradox. A car designed for the track that will live most of its life in climate-controlled garages, revered more for what it could do than what it will do. And yet, in that paradox lies its power, because the Divo reminds both drivers and engineers that perfection is not a number on a screen but a feeling through the fingertips. The 2021 model remains the most focused expression of Bugatti's philosophy in the modern era. Not a farewell to the W16 engine, but a reinterpretation of its purpose. It is less a final chapter and more a declaration of principles for the electric and hybrid era that will follow. Whether one sees it as a masterpiece or an indulgence, the Bugatti Divo 2021 leaves no question about what happens when ambition is directed inward toward precision rather than outward toward speed. The Bugatti Divo 2021 deepens its intrigue when you study how its engineering decisions ripple through both physics and perception. Every curve of its carbon fiber body exists because air has rules, and Bugatti chose to negotiate with those rules rather than fight them. Traditional hypercars try to slice through resistance. The Divo invites it in, shaping airflow into downforce that presses the car into the road with almost preternatural stability. This is not marketing language. The science behind it is exacting. At 236 miles per hour, the Divo experiences aerodynamic load equivalent to hundreds of pounds pushing straight downward, allowing its Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires to grip far beyond the limits of ordinary road rubber. To achieve that, Bugatti's aerodynamicists used computational fluid dynamic simulations that mapped vortices across every panel, then validated those models in wind tunnels using scale replicas before final full-scale prototypes confirmed the behavior at real speeds. The data guided every aesthetic decision, resulting in a machine that looks sculptural yet entirely functional. When you walk around a Bugatti Divo 2021, the first thing you notice is the balance between aggression and refinement. The roofline dives into the rear like a blade, and the massive fixed wing forms the visual anchor. But the designers had to consider more than looks. The wing's pitch angle, end plate curvature, and height were mathematically derived to balance drag and lift. That equilibrium gave the Divo its signature stability in high-speed turns, a characteristic that drivers describe as almost telepathic. The steering, quicker and more communicative than in the Chiron, allows subtle corrections that become essential during heavy cornering loads. The Divo is not a car that rewards half measures. It demands commitment. This philosophy carried into its mechanical layout. The same W16 engine produces identical peak power to the Chiron, yet the Divo's recalibrated transmission and all-wheel drive systems prioritize torque delivery through the corners rather than straight-line thrust. The gearbox mapping shifts emphasis to mid-range response, giving the car explosive acceleration out of turns without unsettling its balance. The suspension uses stiffer springs and revalved dampers, cutting body roll to nearly imperceptible levels while maintaining the mechanical grip necessary to handle over 1,400 horsepower. On the track, this combination translates into something counterintuitive. The Divo feels lighter than its actual 4,400-pound weight, a result of aerodynamics and control systems working in concert. Inside, every tactile surface reminds the driver of intent. The steering wheel has a flattened rim, trimmed in lightweight Alcantara for grip under sweat. The paddle shifters click with precision, and the instrument cluster replaces ornate luxury with clarity. The Divo's cockpit is where ergonomics meet endurance. Even the seat padding thickness was modeled to minimize fatigue under G-loads. These details reveal how the Bugatti Divo 2021 is not simply a restyled Chiron, but an entirely different philosophy applied to the same raw material. It demonstrates what happens when an engineer is allowed to remove the word compromise from the design brief. Yet, even perfection has trade-offs. The Divo's track-oriented setup makes it less comfortable on imperfect roads. Its stiffer suspension transmits every imperfection, and its aerodynamics create a constant sense of readiness, as if the car is straining against the leash of legality. Bugatti's designers accepted these traits as signs of authenticity. The Divo was never meant to be effortless. It was meant to remind its driver that mastery requires effort. The limited production amplified its mystique. With just 40 examples, ownership became less about possession and more about belonging to a narrative. Each buyer was effectively part of an experiment, proving that exclusivity could exist not through opulence but through focus. Bugatti invited them to Molsheim to witness the assembly process firsthand. Watching craftsmen align carbon panels and hand-stitch interior details under controlled light conditions left many owners speechless. There is something poetic about a machine this capable being assembled by human hands. That tension between mechanical precision and artisan craft defines the Divo's identity. Even the paintwork became a technical exercise. Multi-layer metallic pigments refract light differently across each angle, emphasizing motion even when parked. Under the surface, the Divo hides thermal management strategies that border on aerospace complexity. The massive W16 engine generates enormous heat. To manage it, Bugatti engineers reconfigured the coolant flow channels and improved airflow through side intakes that feed dedicated radiators. A redesigned rear grille improves hot air evacuation without raising drag, ensuring consistent performance over extended laps. These systems work silently, yet they are the difference between sustained performance and mechanical fatigue. Financially, the Bugatti Divo 2021 also marked a pivotal moment for the brand. By pricing it at $5.8 million, Bugatti created an economic threshold that redefined what collectors were willing to pay for a car not intended for everyday driving. The resale market reflected this. Within a year, examples appeared at auctions commanding even higher bids, proof that scarcity and philosophy can outvalue practicality. The Divo's cultural impact reaches beyond the showroom. It challenges assumptions about luxury and utility, suggesting that excellence need not justify itself through convenience. Owning a Divo is not about transportation. It is about alignment with an idea. For those lucky few, that idea becomes a private connection to the outer edge of engineering possibility. Technically, the Divo's influence continues to inform Bugatti's development of future performance systems. Many of its aerodynamic lessons, cooling strategies, and control algorithms served as blueprints for upcoming models in the hybrid and electric transition phase. In that sense, the Divo is a bridge between analog force and digital finesse. It honors the past while quietly preparing for the inevitable evolution of speed. The Bugatti Divo 2021 stands as a reminder that the future of performance will not be measured by how fast a car can travel in a straight line, but by how intelligently it interacts with the world around it. Its success lies in making physics feel personal, giving drivers the illusion that nature itself bends slightly in their favor. The Bugatti Divo 2021 exists at the intersection of mechanical obsession and artistic ambition. By the time engineers completed it, they had not just built another hypercar, they had redefined the meaning of performance. While the Chiron pushed the limits of acceleration and top speed, the Divo pursued something more abstract: intimacy between driver and machine. It is not a car that rewards casual input. Every motion, every steering angle, every throttle modulation carries feedback that feels alive. That sensation begins before ignition. When seated, the driver feels enclosed within a cockpit shaped by intention. The low cowl, high beltline, and narrow window apertures create a sense of focus, directing the field of view toward the apex of each corner. The ignition button awakens 16 cylinders and 4 turbochargers. Yet the idle is calm, controlled, almost regal. The soundscape is engineered to communicate readiness without aggression. When the Bugatti Divo 2021 begins to move, its demeanor changes from sculpture to sentient force. The throttle response is immediate. The twin-stage turbocharging system eliminates lag with staggering efficiency. As revs climb, the W16's power band feels endless. But unlike the Chiron, The Divo's delivery is restrained by gearing that prioritizes agility. Gear changes occur with precision. No drama, no loss of balance. The car rotates predictably through corners, and every exit feels like a lesson in restraint. The difference is psychological as much as mechanical. In a Chiron, speed is a spectacle. In a Divo, it is a craft. That distinction defines its purpose. On Bugatti's private handling track, professional test drivers found that the Divo maintained lateral acceleration levels that exceeded even some purpose-built race cars, an extraordinary feat for a street-legal vehicle. Its front splitter, rear diffuser, and underbody channels generate aerodynamic ground effects that make the car feel glued to the tarmac even under high load. The sensation is one of complete control, as if the car anticipates input before the driver delivers it. In practical terms, the Divo's behavior under braking is equally telling. Carbon ceramic discs paired with 6-piston calipers provide immense stopping power, but it is the cooling system that ensures consistency. Air directed through front ducts flows directly to the brake housings, preventing fade after repeated decelerations. Every lap remains as sharp as the first, proof that the car's design was more than aesthetic ambition. The Bugatti Divo 2021 is also a statement about the future of craftsmanship in an age of digital acceleration. While software governs many aspects of its control systems, the experience remains tactile, analog in its feedback. Bugatti's engineers designed the electronic aids to enhance skill rather than override it. Traction control, torque vectoring, and stability management work invisibly until physics dictates intervention. That subtlety distinguishes the Divo from competitors that rely heavily on automation. In essence, it restores agency to the driver, making every maneuver a collaboration rather than a command. Beyond its technical prowess, the Divo represents a cultural pivot for Bugatti. It reminded enthusiasts that beauty and speed could coexist without compromise. The car's form, often described as kinetic sculpture, embodies the principles of aerodynamic purity. The C-shaped side profile that defines modern Bugatti design remains. Yet in the Divo, it functions less as ornament and more as a structural channel for airflow. Light refracts differently across its surfaces. Matte finishes absorb rather than reflect, allowing the silhouette to remain pure even under strong light. This design approach influenced future hypercar aesthetics across the industry, where visual drama began to yield to purposeful restraint. Economically, the Divo signaled the beginning of a new era of collectible performance vehicles. Its scarcity, price, and purpose established a template for ultra-limited editions that prioritize philosophy over practicality. For buyers, the appeal lies in ownership of an idea as much as an object. The 2021 Divo serves as a tangible representation of discipline in a world often ruled by excess. It delivers luxury through precision rather than abundance. The concept extends to the way Bugatti managed its customer relations. Each buyer participated in an individualized process that mirrored the precision of the car itself. The level of personal engagement reinforced Bugatti's reputation not merely as a manufacturer but as a curator of mechanical art. The implications extend beyond the showroom. The Divo's influence can be seen in how automakers now discuss performance, no longer only in terms of numbers, but also emotion and intent. Bugatti showed that restraint could become a competitive advantage. By building a car that excelled where few could measure success, it shifted the definition of what ultimate performance meant. The Bugatti Divo 2021 thus stands as a landmark not because of its rarity or cost, but because of the questions it raised. How do we define progress when perfection already seems achieved? How does one innovate when the limits of physics have been approached? Bugatti's answer was to refine rather than escalate, to deepen rather than widen. That philosophical choice gave the Divo its enduring resonance. It is a car that rewards understanding. Those who study it see more each time. The Divo proved that evolution in performance is not always about going faster. It can be about feeling more. The Bugatti Divo 2021 closes its story as one of the most deliberate expressions of precision ever built on four wheels. Its existence questions what it means for a car to be perfect in a world obsessed with numbers. The Divo is not defined by a top speed figure or acceleration time. It is defined by harmony. Every element, from its aerodynamic body to its balanced chassis, exists in dialogue with the driver. It teaches that speed without control is noise, but control without emotion is silence. Somewhere between those extremes lives the Divo. When you examine its influence, you see more than a limited production hypercar. You see a cultural inflection point. Bugatti demonstrated that the pursuit of perfection could take a quieter, more introspective path. The Divo is an engineering thesis written in carbon and titanium, reminding the industry that technology must serve experience, not replace it. Its $5.8 million price tag may capture headlines, but its real worth lies in what it represents. Focus, craftsmanship, and the courage to choose precision over spectacle. Future Bugatti models, whether hybrid or electric, will carry forward lessons learned from this car's aerodynamic logic and mechanical purity. For enthusiasts, the Divo stands as a reference point, the moment when Bugatti proved that evolution could mean refinement rather than escalation. It reframed what the term hypercar could mean, shifting attention from the extremes of power to the art of balance. That idea resonates far beyond Bugatti's own garage. Engineers across the industry continue to cite the Divo's aerodynamic and chassis philosophies as benchmarks. Designers reference its flowing yet functional form as proof that beauty and purpose can coexist. Collectors, meanwhile, see it as a modern relic, the last of an age before electrification rewrites every equation of performance. Yet even as new technologies rise, the spirit of the Bugatti Divo 2021 endures. It reminds drivers that mastery will always matter, that feeling a machine respond precisely to intent is timeless. Whether one views it as sculpture, experiment, or statement, the Divo fulfills a rare promise: to make engineering emotional. In an era when computers optimize everything, the Divo's legacy lies in reminding us why humans still chase perfection through motion. It stands as both a culmination and a compass, pointing toward a future where speed is measured not in miles per hour but in moments of absolute connection.